the Warriors Lifestyle channel. It's your girl Iyana Renee, and today I am back with another video. In today's video, I have a special guest. I have my mother with me, and in today's video, as you guys may know, I have sickle cell anemia, and I thought it would be good. Whoopee! So, sorry. I thought it'd be good to, you know, start from the beginning of, you know, how things came about, and I hope this video, you know, will give information for young mothers that do have, you know, children or babies with sickle cell, and they don't know anything about it. So you can, you know, listen to the top dog. They know some stuff. So here we go. So alright, I guess I start off by I'm trying to think, what question should I start off by? Okay, when you was pregnant with me, alright, before you was pregnant with me, did you know what sickle cell anemia was?
No.
You didn't know nothing about it?
Nope, never heard of it.
Okay. So when,
I mean, I heard of it, but I did hear about sickle cell. I knew these two twins. I used to live down the street. Their names was Harry and Larry, and they had sickle cell. And they used to, all I knew that you get a lot of pain when it rains. So I didn't know people that had it, but didn't know nothing about it, like what the procedure go through.
So, okay. So next question would be, when you were pregnant with me, how many months were you when you found out that you were going to have a child with sickle cell, and how did you find out?
Well, when I was pregnant with Iyana, I was in my 30s, like 31, 32, something like that. Yeah, like 31, 32. And because I was past 30, they was saying that I'm at risk of having a Down syndrome baby. And I'm not gonna go through the details of that, but they tested me and everything, and I didn't have a Down syndrome baby. Iyana was, I had to get tested again because they found that I had a lot of white cells, and my white cells counts was high, and they wanted the father to get tested to see if the baby has sickle cell disease. We won't know until they do the amniocentesis on me. So her dad got tested, and he came out with sickle cell trait as well. So the only way we know if my unborn child was going to be sickle cell, they had to do an amniocentesis on me, in which they did, and Iyana had sickle cell disease. So this is basically how I knew that she was going to have sickle cell.
Yeah, and like she said, she didn't know my dad had the trait. My dad didn't know he had the trait, but I recently found out that, I think he said my grandpa, which would be his dad, or his grandpa, which would be his dad, had sickle cell anemia. But I know for sure, I believe it was my grandpa that have the full-blown sickle cell. So yeah, that's how that go about.
But basically, when they tell you to know your family history of illness, that is very, very important. Mm-hmm. When they ask you, anybody in your family that has this, anybody in your family has that, you gotta find out, because when it travels through the genes and down generation, you'll be looking really stuck, because it could be a disease that someone had in your ancestor time or your great-great-grandmother in them time, and then when it hits you and your generation, you'll be like, I didn't know we had this in my family. Well, it's in your family, but it's in your ancestors or your generation down the, you know, above you. But that's the thing, why we born in the 60s, And we was never, my mother never talked to us about it, this disease. She never, you know, I guess needed to, because I guess the test results and stuff they was taking back then was not, you know, advanced to what they taking right now. So with that being said, they wasn't looking for nothing. Like my baby daughter that I have, she had thalassemia or something like that.
But she had the trait.
She has the trait. Yes, correct. She has the trait. So I'm aware of that. And that's why I can pass it down to her. But my parents couldn't pass anything down to me. Only that my brother, my oldest brother, had. He was anemic. I knew anemic running my family. Look at the color of my skin. I ain't got no color. So you see what I mean? And that's all I knew. Okay, my brother was always, you know, on the anemic side. So when I got pregnant with my first two daughters, I had to take extra iron pills because I was anemic. My numbers was too high. And they like, Jesus. I know the doctor's like, I had to take 3 iron pills instead of 1 a day or 2 a day, whatever. The prenatal vitamin iron pills they wanted you to take. So.
All right. So basically, like now, it's like, so I think in today's, like some people still don't know they carry the trait, or they know they carry the trait but don't even think about their partner carrying the trait and don't know. And, you know, things happen. You come out with a child with sickle cell, so it's, you know, good to get testing done and ask about all these things so you can be aware of how your child's health is going to be. So the next question would be, so when I was first born, from first day of me being born to, I guess, 1 year old, when was my first crisis, and when I was born, did they have to do like extra tests or anything?
Well, the thing is, when I found out that Iyana was carrying her and she had sickle cell disease, I didn't believe it. I was in denial for a long time because I didn't want my child to have anything. And it was just so funny that, you know, they kept telling me she has it and this and that. And we got books on so much things of what she can be around, what she can't be around, educating us for the first step of dealing with sickle cell. We already knew that her first crisis would have been at 6 months because the baby blood starts to go over to the adult blood from 6 months. Okay,
so wait, so when I turned, so was it like, so did you have the feeling like, dang, you gotta count down to when this first crisis is about to come, or like when when I turned 5 months, you was like, dang, next month here we go?
Yeah. But the thing is, they were saying between 6 to 9 months that she can have her first crisis, and yeah, I was actually counting down, and I was just wondering when the baby, you know, each time I took her to the doctor to make sure, you know, but she still had a lot of baby blood in her. And when I asked the question, he's like, no, she still have a lot of baby blood in her. She's not, you know, but just look out for certain signs and stuff that they had me look out for. And they was hard because babies, they can't talk. They can't tell you where their pain is at. You got to be a parent to figure it out. So, boom.
Yeah, so alright, so wait, so how was it, like, my first, when you discovered my first crisis, like, how would, I'm not gonna say how was your feeling, but like, what was the signs that you noticed?
Well, the first crisis took all of us out. Even her older sister was crying. Between 6 and 9 months, Iyana crisis hit her on her first, when she turned 9 months. She was 9 months. 6 to 9 months. Or was she 6 months? Oh, he was 9 months. 6 to 9 months. He was 9 months. And when the baby took over to 6 to 9 months. Oh, I always say 6 months, right? It wasn't 9 months. I say your hand. Well, anyway, I'm sorry. She was 6 to 9 months. It was 9 months, and she had the hand and foot syndrome. That's something to look at. It comes. Her hand and her feet were swollen. Her hand was real puffy, bigger than the other hand. And, you know, you touch it, it hurt. So her sister was with her and calling me. you know, Mom, something wrong with Iyana. You know, she keep crying and this and that. And my husband said when I touch her hand, she keep, you know, pulling back. It hurt. So when I looked at it and I seen her hand and I seen her foot, I'm like, oh my gosh, she has her first crisis. Like, and I took her to the emergency room and they kept her. Put on the IV fluids and stuff like that, give her the meds and stuff that she needed. And I was like, well, I got to experience the first sickle cell crisis in my daughter. And they checking for fevers. Iyana always had a fever, a lot of fevers. You know, when she just not feeling good. When she's not feeling good, you gotta check the fever, because the fever lets you know that they are in crisis. And when a fever is going, you know, they will let you know. Next question, like, what else you'd like to know?
Listen. Alright, so what advice would you give to the young mothers that have babies now, that, you know, just something that you think that they should be aware of, to look for?
Sorry for the yawning, guys. The young mothers out there, you have to have patience. You have to have courage. You have to have belief. And you have to have faith in God. You gotta believe that when you talk to that man, he answers you. He might not be there when you call him. He might not be there when you need him. But he's always on time. It's a hurt thing to go through as a parent, because you're going to blame yourself. Like I said, I didn't know nothing about it. I wasn't educated on it, and I didn't want my daughter to have it. So this is the story that once she got born, ladies, I meant to tell y'all this, or the viewers, it was so funny because I was in denial. I did not want my child to be sickle cell. I used to always think, you know, when you coming up and you see disabled children, disabled people, and this and that, and you used to say to yourself, you see a child in a wheelchair, a child that's disabled, Down syndrome, baby, whatever, and you don't mock them because you don't know if you're going to have a child with a situation. I just used to be like, I never want to experience that. I don't want nobody in my family to do that, and I don't never want my kids to have something that, because it's a lot. But it was always told, God don't put no more than you can bear, and boom, he gave me, I have a child with sickle cell. So when she was born, I still didn't believe it. So I had to ask, this is the funny part. So I asked the doctor, it was Dr. Dan Pierre, and I kept saying, I don't believe my daughter has sickle cell. I don't believe it.
Wait, I know Dr. Dan, I know he's in Atlanta now. So if any of my subscribers or whoever watching lives in Atlanta, I don't know what hospital he's at, but you can Google his name. Excuse me. I can spell his name out for you if you want it, but Dr. Dan Pierre, he's a very good doctor.
Yeah. So I told him I want proof. Prove to me that my daughter has sickle cell. He was like, I got the proof. Because we had went to a meeting. Because they were going to do an MRI on my daughter and all this. So there's a lot of classes and stuff like that. So anyway, he took me to the room and everything. He was showing me the book. You know what he was showing me, y'all? The chromosomes. It was the light, the dark, the light, the dark. Like, literally, I'm like, that's not proof. That's just numbers and chromosome. And I had to go to a chromosome class as well, because I didn't believe it. And that's when they had to show me through the genetic testing. I went to genetic testing to let me know exactly what happened and how my daughter ended up with sickle cell disease. So I just had to believe it. But moms, it's also good to take a genetic class and go and do it too, because you want to learn a little more. How did your daughter get it and this and that, and basically being with sickle cell trait is from 2 parents. And with the 2 parents with sickle cell trait, it's not always going to be that way, but 50-50 chance that the child's going to come out with the disease. Because out of the 50 egg and the 50 sperm, one egg, one S egg, one S sperm comes out, and boom, it creates a SS child, a sickle cell child. They got different three different kinds. But ladies, just be strong, be encouraging, have courage. Read, write questions down, make your little journal, so you can, you know, things that be on your mind that you might be skeptical of answers. You can always ask the doctor, especially when you got good doctors, something you want to ask these questions, because it's your child. And you read, but then they can answer your question. Call the doctors. I used to always call, say Christopher, well, that's where she was at. Call the doctors. I was calling about this. Also, your child develops slowly than the other ones. Between her puberty and her adolescence and stuff, going through those, they're more slower. Like, you know, but Iyana actually started her ladyhood at approximately the right age, but everything else they were saying, and some of the kids, they slowly develop. Like, she be 25, she still don't look like this. So her puberty is not even kicking in yet. See? So she, you know, she just gonna be looking like a little baby for a long time. But she gain weight, lose weight, you know. All I can say is always be there for your children, ladies. Be strong with them. It's hard. I cry, and I still cry. I'm not gonna get into details about the support team, but I have a support team, and that's my daughter Denisha, Jasmine, and Kayla. My other three things, and got a couple of cousins out there. You're gonna need a support team, someone you can cry on their shoulder and they understand what you're going through. So like I said, my support team is my three daughters above Iyana, well, around Iyana, and a couple of cousins. Her dad, Iyana's dad, is very supportive. Iyana's boyfriend, Damir, God bless you. Wow, Damir, he's the greatest of all. Like, really, to even be involved in her life, you gotta love her disease. You gotta be there as part of it. But ladies, don't never be afraid to be a mom to your child and this and that. You're gonna go through so many stages of life. Why my child? Why my child? You're gonna be questioning yourself. But like I said, I blame myself because I blame myself because I figure, like, you know, they say when you do wrong or you do bad, karma gonna come back and get you. Sometimes I think it's karma. I think even when you're younger, you steal a bag of chips. You know, daggone well, you're supposed to pay for them chips, but you didn't pay for them, did you? You know, then you realize, you know, you probably lied, stole something, did whatever. And then, you know, here's your child that, you know, that's suffering because of your sins or suffering because of you. But you know what the thing about being a sickle cell child? People always ask you, what do they look like? It don't have a look.
Yeah.
It's in the blood.
Like, people look at me, they don't even know I think I have sickle cell.
You can't tell who got it, just like you can't tell somebody got AIDS. You can't tell somebody got any other kind of disease unless it shows on the outside. You know what I'm saying? But sickle cell, there's no look to it. Oh,
and sickle cell is not contagious. Like, you only get sickle cell if you have
inherited through the parents.
Yes, it gotta be.
It's not sexual transmitted disease.
None of it.
Okay, you can't kiss somebody and catch sickle cell. Okay, that's no. As I explained to you earlier, is through the mother and the father. The father has the trait and the mother has the trait. You get it with a 50 egg and a 50 sperm. Put it together, boom. But, you know, and also, ladies, this doesn't always skip generations, because they used to tell me I could cure Iyana from sickle cell by having another child, whole sibling, not half, and do a bone marrow transplant through her cord blood. That wasn't gonna happen. And things ain't work out, you know. But
so I want to say, you know, also we wanted to know, can people with sickle cell have kids? And the answer is yes, but it's a high risk pregnancy. And you know, I seen what my good sis was, you know, my best friend. I seen what she went through, you know, bringing my godson into the world. And yes, everybody pregnancy is different, because you know, some other people I know with sickle cell, and they had, you know, okay delivery, like they, you know, some people went natural, some people this. Everybody is different. But I think the most important thing is you know, with someone with sickle cell that want to have kids is having a support system. And I feel like, even though, you know, even like, you know, with Damir, I feel like, you know, when we first talked about having kids, it was like, you know, you have to get tested, because I'm not. If me and a child with Damir, my child will only come out with the trait. But if he had the trait, then my child would have came out with the full blown thing. Because
she's full blown sickle cell and got the trait. But if she's, and that sometimes, like I said, 2 sickle cell traits, you don't, it's not, you're actually not saying, oh, well, it's a 50-50 chance that the child can come out with the disease. Once again, you got 50 eggs and 50 sperm. If one S egg or one S sperm meets, then it's that. They can skip. So you can have 2 parents with sickle cell trait and the child come out fine without the disease. Normal. Well, I wouldn't just say normal, but they won't have the disease, because my child is normal with it. She just have episodes where it tears her down. And beats her down hard. But look at her, she's been 25 in a couple of weeks, and the battle's not over.
Days. That's not a couple of weeks, that's a week and a half.
15 days. But the battle is not over for her. And sometimes I feel like I'm being less than a mother sometimes to Iyana, of trying to understand her illness. And I mean, well, she's older now, and it gets worse sometimes when they get older, because it's tearing them down. My daughter then had a gallbladder taken out. She had a major hip surgery. Well, the ports they put in her, they put 2. Then one cord got affected, had to remove one, and she just went and got another one.
Yeah, my ports got affected like 2 or 3 times already.
She only had like 3 surgeries. Other than she had to get dental work on her mouth when she had braces, so they did some of the teeth out, because she, you know, she wanted to get her braces. So right now, like a major surgery was the hip.
And gallbladder.
Well, the gallbladder, they didn't cut you open. They did a
It's still major.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah,
they did a little incision, and they did with a machine the gall. Okay, so gallbladder and hip surgery, you know. And now as we speaking, her other hip, because she got the left one done.
Yeah, and so now my right one.
Now the right one is almost near stage 4, stage 3.
So almost stage 3.
Almost to stage 3. Yeah. So that's something about, like, when you read the books, they give you the sickle cell. They're going to tell you sometimes with a lot of sickle cell patients end up having hip replacements, gallbladder removed.
I never thought I was going to be someone to get a hip replacement, because, like, yes, I get sick, don't get me wrong, but I never had, like, for a long time, I never had like a major life-threatening issue. My only issue was, if I don't get blood transfusions, I'm at a high risk for a stroke. That's my only main concern with sickle cell right now, is if I don't get blood transfusions, there's a 95% chance I will have a stroke. And that's the only thing that's like really wrong, other than my pain. So I never looked at it like, I see people with AVN in the foot, and it's a lot I see. And I just never thought, and it's just like how you just never know. You just never know. But one thing I also wanted to add, like, back to, like, you know, the part of me having kids or whatever, because I know a lot of you keep asking me when I'm having a baby, but I mean, I'm gonna have one when God want me to have one. I'm gonna just put it like that. Whenever He want me to have one, He's gonna obviously bless me with it. But like I said,
I'm so happy.
but like I said, I'm not rushing. I'm almost about to be 25, so I'm still, you know, I like to travel, I like to.
And once again, sickle cell develops slowly, so
yeah.
maybe her ovaries is just a little slow right now. We don't know.
And yeah,
but
so
I always tell her, don't think about it. Just let it happen naturally. Because when you think about it, your brain already know what you're trying to do. So they, you know.
But until then, I got my good godson, Koi, and you know. But you know, when it does happen, it's gonna be a lot, and it's gonna be a lot on both sides of the family. Because it's like, you know, it's an emotional thing, and it's like, you know, sometimes with sickle cell, when you pregnant, you go through so much pain. I heard, Zook said, you know, when she was pregnant, her pain was like 10 times worse. So she was in the hospital like her whole 7 months of pregnancy. So, like, again, I know y'all keep asking me, but, you know, slow down on the little questions. I mean, I like when y'all say, oh, baby, blah, but it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. And you got anything else to say, Ma?
Love your child with sickle cell disease. Love your family, and like I said, and keep a support team. Also, you know, whatever age your child is watching the viewer, watch out for certain signs when they just they go into depression stage. They not happy with themselves. And then, you know, my daughter used to always ask, and it put tears in my eyes, why this? Why I gotta go through this? You know, I don't want, you know, I want to be regular. I want to be this. They're going to say those things to themselves, you know. But only like when Yaya was really going through it, she was like, yeah, I got this. I can deal with it. You know, it could be people worse off than her. And it is people worse off than her.
You know, I'm glad you said it, because that's how I keep my strength going. I always say, like, my situation could be worse. Like, I said, I'm still blessed because I'm waking up each day. I got a roof over my head. I got water. I got clothes. I'm not hungry. I'm not waiting for nothing. So I still feel blessed. I feel blessed. And you know, like I said, God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors. Soldiers. And you know, and like my mom said, you know, it's people going through worse than me. It's people that don't have no legs, no arms. It's people out here that, you know, cancer.
People are living in the street, no food, no water.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of stuff.
There's other countries out there that they don't have the proper needs for anything. You know, they can't vaccine their kids. They can't feed their kids. You know, they gotta struggle for all of this. And I'm not saying that we're better than them or whatever. But what I'm saying, this disease, you can fight it. And I've seen people live to be 50, 60 years old, this and that. But like I said, everybody's sickle different.
Actually, if you don't know, it's a sickle cell page on Facebook.
I'm never gonna say my daughter, and I know her sickle cell is not a burden. It hurts my heart, but it makes me stronger, and it makes me love her more. And each and every day, like I empower her illness, like it's in my blood, which it is, because it's a trait. But when I said that, how can you have more than one child with sickle cell? Like, you literally keep putting a child at risk of whatever, and you got yourself. But you know what? They basically told me to mind my damn business.
And y'all can tell the same thing in the comments. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm basically with it. My thing is, my daughter is a load of, you know, like, is me watching her. I literally gets on her nerves. When you okay? You got to go there. And she know I don't play. Put your coat on, because she don't like when it comes. And I did have another child under her, but that wasn't the same parents. And I was kind of contemplating, because I know what I'm going to have to do with her, but I wouldn't have to do it with both of them, because the other one didn't have sickle cell disease. And that's a good thing. So, like I said, my daughter each and every day I love her more and more and more and more. And I always tell her, I cannot live without her. I'd rather go before she go. Because a mother supposed to not bury their child. A child supposed to bury their mother. And I don't think I'm going to be the same. But you guys, I'm going to tell you, stay strong, stay focused, pray. Because I'm going to tell you right now, God is real. And the Creator is real. Because I used to say, And I prayed every day. There's a lot of things God did for me, and he did it on his time, not mine. He did it on his time. But when he did it, I felt it. I felt his power. I felt his love. I ain't gonna preach to y'all. But just to know he's real, because when Iyana got so many precautions that I had to take, and you gotta take a lot of precautions with sickle cell children. What they can touch, what they can't, especially in school, they go to trips and stuff. One thing she can't be around, she can't touch reptiles. We can't handle reptiles in the house. Kids be talking about they want a turtle. You can't get no turtle because your sister can't handle it. Because they carry so much bacteria and the salmonella. Salmonella get it with, and the thing about sickle cell kids, sickle cell patients, people, they can't fight off certain bacteria. Their immune system was shut down. Certain bacteria that they get in their body is not like we can fight off. Like we can fight salmonella because it's always in chicken and eggs before we cook it. They can fight it off. My daughter couldn't do that. My daughter was in the hospital for 44 days when she was 8 years old. And
that's another story. That gonna be another video.
Oh, okay.
We gotta wrap this video up.
Okay, but no, just stay strong, stay focused, and pray. God is real, because he been there for me. And y'all mothers out there, stay strong.
Hope you guys like this video, and if y'all want to see any more videos from me and my mom about sickle cell or anything else, comment below. Leave all y'all comments and concerns down below if y'all have any questions.
And you can tell me to mind my business.
Yeah,
I know you're
tell her to mind her business.
Yeah, I know. Have what you want to have. For me personally, I couldn't see myself with 4 or 5 kids with sickle cell. If I did have 2, I have 2. But 1, it breaks this heart up every time.
Yeah.
Because she shouldn't have to go through that, but that's life. That's that's in our blood. That's what's running around in the African and over there. It's basically on the similarity of malaria.
Yeah. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna say it again. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, subscribe, hit the post notifications on so y'all can know every time I post a video. And I hope you got information from this video, or learned something or found out something. That was the point of making the video. I'm trying to do as much as awareness on sickle cell as I can, because I'm just tired of sickle cell being on the back burner, like in the healthcare. That's just how it is. But that's another story for another day. Again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, the post notification buttons, and
wait a minute, I want to say something before y'all go. Now, I work at a hospital, and you know what the most beautiful thing that happened one time? It was a girl in there pregnant with sickle cell, and she was sending the doctors through craziness. But when I mentioned that I have a child with sickle cell, and them doctors came to me and was like, can you go talk to her, because she's not listening to us, because she had to take these certain medicines because she needed to get a blood transfusions and whatever. The girl didn't want to take them and else, and she was just so depressed. And I was honored that the doctors at my hospital, because I work in labor and delivery and I do housekeeping, and it came to me, and they was like, oh, Shawnee, your daughter has sickle cell. I was like, yes. And I mentioned it to them, they was like, well, can you go and talk to this young lady? And you know what, she got her blood transfusion because she was going to die, because she was so lacking in the blood. And I talked to her, and I went in there and I let her know that my daughter has sickle cell disease too. And her eyes turned around and looked at her, and we had a beautiful conversation. And when I came back the next day, they
showed her a picture of me.
Yes, I did. And I did. And I sent, and I think I told you about that. And the next day I came, she was down in the ICU because her respiratory, her oxygen levels dropped so low, and they had to put in there, but she made it out okay. Talk to everybody, talk to them.
But like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, the post notification on so y'all can know every time I post a video. Thank you guys for watching. I love you. Peace.